Okay, welcome back to Highfleet. We have a lot to cover in this session, and we have some very serious objectives to take. The primary objective right now is Tushan. Tushan is a fleet HQ, which means that it is in a situation where it has a higher than normal garrison, but it is also currently harboring an aircraft carrier group, which means it also has the aircraft carrier and whatever escorts it has in the city too. This is a problem for us because taking that on with just one ship is not going to cut it. It's going to be too hard to fight. So what we need to do is get ourselves in a position where we can assault it with the Collingwood, the Rooster, and probably something else as well. We need to put it in a situation where we're going to be able to take it easily. The other problem is when we get detected, they're going to launch fighters at us, and we can't afford for that to happen right now. So what I'm going to have to do is, once I've finished the logistical stuff that I'm doing right now, I'm going to have to move all of my fleets out of the cities that they're in and put them in the desert to stop the local population calling in their location. We also have some morale issues. The Rooster's down to morale 2. Can't afford for that to get any higher, so we need to watch out for that as well. I'm just refueling this fleet at Muchin first. Are they so that I can move them out to the desert. Can I get that D80 Mullet? No, I need to get these survivors. I don't want to lose any more morale at this point. Can't afford it. We are also very, very low on cash. We're out of cash right now. I could obviously ask for funds here, but that means I get one less free ship for the end of the game, and I'm kind of leaning more towards that free ship right now. If we take Tushan, we will get some nukes. I can sell those nukes for money, so I'm going to try and lean on that. Okay, we got that. I don't think we're going to be able to get this mullet, but I'm going to try and get the fuel tanks to save it. Now, we're not going to have time. If I'd gone for the mullet, there was a 50-50 chance of grabbing it. I probably should have gone for that. Maybe messed up there. Would have been a little bit extra money, but whatever. Okay, the refueling here is finished. So I want to order the Crazy Horse, the Patrick, and the Frankston with about 99% of the fuel, so about 86%. I need to order them somewhere. Actually, I can just order them over here because they can still fly to Shahriran. So let's put them about here. I'm putting them up, oops, Crazy Horse, Patrick, and Frankston. I'm putting them around here, because when they're here, they can launch fighters to help our attack on Tushan, and then leaving the Howler behind means that they can carry all the missiles and bombs over to Shahriran, where the Rooster needs the help to rearm itself. So let's get the Rooster repaired enough to land. We're just looking for that leg. Oh, I haven't got any money. Let's sell this gun. Now I should have money to repair. Cool. So we're just waiting for that leg to be repaired before we land it. Other thing we're waiting on right now is just waiting for the repairs to finish here for the Collingwood. So let's just fast forward until that's done. 0.7 hours. Okay, this is now repaired. What we're trying to do is just make sure there's nobody in any of the cities for the enemy to call in our locations for planes to come at us. Now, do we have enough money to repair this? Looks like we do, but we're using up our repair supplies, I believe. But that looks like a fully repaired... No, we're missing an engine. Our engine's for sale here. It would be nice to be able to afford that engine, but right now, Senates aren't really worth it. Neither are Fabs. Oh no, there's no NK25s. I could put a D30 in instead. I think we're okay without the engine. I think we'll be fine without it. The nice thing about the ship is it is redundant in that stage. So we've got 21 hours of repairs here. We've got 15 hours of repairs here. We're just going to fast forward until that's ready. And yeah, I've been worried about this engagement ever since I finished the last video, because I knew how big a fight this was going to be. This is going to be a really well-defended city. It's going to be very hard for us to capture. All right, let's order the Collingwood, and the Tyrannus, which is going to be our fuel tanker for this mission, up to Shahriran. Oh, I keep right-clicking instead of left-clicking. And then we're going to get the Nomad and the Sleepy Pupper. They've got enough fuel to make it to Kiva. They need just a touch more fuel, just to make sure they can maneuver a little bit and land. Once they finish refueling, we're going to move them out into the desert. And then we're getting ready for this attack on Tushan, which is going to be a big fight. So we're leaving the Nomad here because it's going to take Kiva on its own when it's time. And it's such a slow ship, I don't want to be moving it around. It's in a great position here to launch an attack once it's fully fueled. Now that it's fully fueled, we're going to move it out into the desert. We're going to take it off the trade line just in case the trade fleets or something comes along and identifies it. We'll just drop it in the desert right about here, and it should still have enough fuel to make it to Kiva after that. And if not, we can come and refuel it. It's not the end of the world. This fleet here is sitting waiting to support us. Let's just check what the status of our air fleet is. We've got 9 T7s, or is that 8 T7s? It's a bit hard to see. I think it's 8 T7s and 3 Li-29s. That's fine. I'll just fast forward a little bit more. Repairs on the Rooster are almost complete. So the Rooster is currently sitting at morale 3. I'd like to get that up to morale 5 if I can. Which will take a bit of time. So I'm just going to... I'll fade out while we're just spinning around to get that morale up. Alright, Shahran has just switched over to Red Dangerous. At this point, I can't afford to wait any longer. So let's just grab some fuel, which I should have already been doing. That's an oversight. So we've got enough fuel to get to Tushan. And then we're going to launch this fleet. The Tyrannus is coming with us because we're actually going to use its A100s for this engagement as well. We're going to attack with planes, we're going to attack with missiles, and we're going to attack with our ships. So as soon as this refueling is completed, we're going to take off. Along the way, we're going to get some aircraft to join the fleet and escort it into Tushan. And then we're going to prepare for an enemy preemptive defense where they're going to launch planes against us. And we're going to try and shoot as many of them down as we can with our T7s. Since they can take the anti-air missiles. We may lose a lot of planes in this engagement, but right now I'd rather lose planes than lose ships. Because we're probably going to get some aircraft carriers for the end game. We're going to get a ton of free planes. As much as I hate to say this, I don't want our pilots to overhear this, but our planes are expendable right now. We've got a lot of ordnance that I'm not really using, and the planes, if I can, sacrifice planes to kill planes, I'm happier to do that than lose the Rooster or lose the Howler. In fact, thinking about that, I'm actually going to remove the Howler from this fleet, because it is extremely vulnerable to aircraft. It's very easy for an aircraft to shoot it down, so we're just going to get it out of the fleet, so it's not part of that engagement. So what we're doing is, just before we enter the visual range of Tushan, we're going to launch planes. Let's just pause the game. Wrong fleet is selected, which is a great start. So all we're going to do is I'm going to put up some T7s with anti-air missiles. We'll just put them up in a group of 3, actually. That's our anti-air group, and I'm going to select them separately from everything else. Then I'm going to put up some T7s with 250s. I'm just going to, because hopefully the idea is this is going to be a silent strike. So I'm going to take maybe three bombers, and then everything else with rockets, just in case they don't manage to deal with the problem. Okay, now the other thing I need to deal with here is the first group that was launched, which I believe is this group will be our, 3 groups. This is our anti-air group. This is the most important group. And what's going to happen is the planes will travel at the speed of our fleet here, so we don't have to worry about them hitting the city too soon. The other thing we're going to do when we get in range is we are going to launch an A100. So I just want to make sure this is the group I want. The group that is Craft 3. There's no other group that's Craft 3, so it should be easy to detect them. So what we're going to do now is going to turn on our A100 scope. We are actually in range. I'm going to launch a preemptive A100 and try and get them when they're on the ground. And then I'm going to launch another A100. Unfortunately, it's very hard to see what's on the ground here. But we killed something. Second missile's about to launch. A lot of anti-aircraft fire coming in on this one. That's a Gladiator. We just took out a Gladiator. That's such a great result. Probably the scariest ship in the game, in my opinion. Okay, no alarm has gone off. The ship should still be on the ground. We're just waiting. Unfortunately, this fleet is slow because the Collingwood is a slow ship. All we want to do is make sure we hit this without setting off the silent strike alarm. I'm hoping we'll be fine. We're almost in range. We've got tons of range left in our planes. We're not worried about them running out of fuel anytime soon. Here is the moment of truth on whether or not we're going to get a surprise attack. We are going to get a surprise attack. They also have not launched any aircraft. If they're not launching any aircraft, that leads me to believe that the first ship that we destroyed with that A100 was actually the aircraft carrier. If that is the case, we're going to get a free bombing run on this base, which is why I'm ordering all the planes to just attack now. And we're going to order... I'm going to sit on the anti-aircraft planes just in case something happens. No, I think it's pretty obvious that they're not unlaunching planes. Let's get them back to base to repair and rearm. Looks like there's a Sarma there, a Courageous, a Flower. Which might not be as hard to fight as I thought it was going to be. This might be absolutely textbook. There's a Sarma gone. I've been worried about this engagement all week. Since I recorded the last video, I've been thinking about how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to move everything around, what the logistics of this attack are, and right now it's looking really good. Looks like there's 2 nomads there. They're pretty scary. That's a courageous you just bombed. I'm not too happy about you losing 500 kilograms worth of bombs on a courageous, but we took out an enemy, and I guess we're going to take that. There's one more bomber on the way in. Going after, I'm not sure what that is. Can't quite make out the silhouette. Whatever it is dead. 3 aircraft left defending this base. I think we're going to take this very easily, which is great because no repairs means we can move on to the next target very quickly. These are our missile attacks now. Oh, aircraft, you are working wonders. That's... Oh, he still has missiles. I should have ordered the retreat. I didn't realize he still had missiles in the magazine. It's usually not worth him coming back around for that second attack. So it looks like there's just 2 nomads left. I'm not sure if the planes will be able to take them out, but I'm going to let them attack. There's a nomad destroyed. We're going to take this... We're going to either have to fight 1 nomad or fight nothing here. This is the best result I could have hoped for. I've never expected it to go this well. You can see they only have half the missile armament on the slower planes. One thing, a problem with this ship type, if I remember the design, is that the bridge is very close to the top of the ship behind 1 layer of armor, and missiles are quite good for stripping armor in successive hits, and if just one of those shots bleeds through, you've got a kill. This is our last attack run. There's 2 planes in this one. Not quite accurate enough, but this should be an easy fight for the Collingwood. There actually is nothing to defend the city. They must have destroyed it. We just landed in Tushan. We didn't get any loot, but we captured it. Nobody needs to land. Everyone's at full health. Let's see what we get from the Sword of Damocles. 1 KF-15N. 1 KF-15PN, I might sell that. I'm not too interested in the PNs. 2 more KF-15Ns. Another PN will sell that. Another KF-15-9. Nice. Some PNs. Alright. Well, that was an interesting result. So I'm going to sell the PNs because I'm not going to use those and I need the cash. And then we're actually going to mount these. There's another PN there I will sell. And another PN I will sell. Because we might need this for the end of the game. Let's see what is available to buy ammo-wise. We need fuel. Let's get enough fuel to get back to Shahriran. And once we're there, we will refuel again. Nothing here I really want. 130mm prox fuse is tempting. Actually, we've got the money for it. Let's grab it. The Collingwood can use that. Still wish I could use these 300mm incendiaries, but I can't. We've got tons of 100mm armor piercing. Well, that went... That's how it should be. That was an absolutely flawless attack. So our next objective is to do the same thing for Sheba. Sheba is the last great threat to this campaign. You've seen how powerful planes are. We don't want that to happen to us, but we just did to them. So we need to get this fleet to Shahriran to refuel. Actually, they've got enough... Well, they have enough fuel to make it to Sheba, which is where I want to get them. So let's get them to Shahriran to refuel. And then this fleet will do the same thing. They'll get to Shahriran, refuel, and come for Sheba. I'm absolutely stoked by how well that went. That was like... When I was planning that whole mission... When I was like getting ready to do this video, I was thinking, what am I going to do for about Tushan? How am I going to do this? It never ever went that well in my estimations. I assumed I would lose planes, I'd lose the Collingwood, I could lose the Rooster, we'd use the Tenaris. I never anticipated a perfect, flawless missile and bomb strike to take the place out. And there was a lot of defenders there. That was a pretty heavily defended place. Let's just check. Can you make it to Kiva? You can. Perfect. So you're going to be taking Kiva at some point. And the idea here is what we're going to do is when we're ready to take Kiva, I'm going to put 1 ship in every single city that we've liberated. And when we flip over to the third act, to the final act of the game, and we go to Total War, I'll be able to claim free ships in all of those cities to build a huge fleet instantly, which I can then put into strike groups and send out to hunt down the enemies that are coming after us. The only direction that's dangerous is down here towards Kumdag and Zartana, but I don't have time to do anything about this. I want to end this campaign soon. We're going to take Sheba, and then that's basically when I'm going to make the decision on whether I want to end the campaign now or continue it a little bit further. The biggest danger right now is if we trigger a dangerous alert from Sheba. What we need to do now is refuel. We need enough fuel to get to Sheba, because that's what this fleet's going to end. So we need to let them refuel. Now, luckily, fuel comes in very quickly at a refueling depot like this. So we're just playing fuel games right now. I'm not fast-forwarding because I don't want to miss that trigger from Piotr that we've been detected. That was an absolutely perfect plane strike. I was really happy with how that went. See how much faster the fuel's coming into the ships here than it is here? It's much, much faster at our refueling station. So we're going to land them in the desert somewhere around here. We're going to do the exact same thing to Sheba. Hopefully it goes even half as well. Unfortunately, we won't have the A100s to strike them this time. Let's get them out of there. This fleet is almost finished refueling. We are obviously waiting for 5.7 hours for the rest of the missiles to be loaded. So let's just fast forward. 3, 2... That's all of the missiles online. Let's get them to Shahriran to refuel. So landing in the desert just means that they're not detectable. We don't have to worry about any locals calling in. They're just chilling on deck chairs. Actually, they're not chilling on deck chairs because it's freezing cold. But they would be if the sun was still around. Let's quickly refuel. Again, we just need just enough fuel to get to Sheba, which is a big amount of fuel for this fleet. And we'll just quickly fast forward through that. And let's get them in the air so they don't get detected. And we managed to get away with something very dangerous there, which was refueling at Shahriran twice after it had become a dangerous population. This will no longer be a problem. I just want to take a second to go back through our course and just see how many dangerous cities there are on our course. We did okay here. This was a thrilling point in the playthrough where I did the leap across the desert to escape all the strike groups that were coming in on us here. And there's where we began. Look at the fuel I've left behind up here. Very sad about that. But oh well. I know better now. I know how to sell that fuel. I didn't know how to sell that fuel at the time. Okay, this is going to take 4.8 hours. When we get, again, just outside visual range, we're going to launch those planes. Just fast forward a little bit. And this is one of the last aircraft carrier groups on the map, but the one that is actually important to us. Okay, so same thing again. We're going to launch, first of all, 3 T-7s with our remaining AA missiles. So they're our anti-air defense force. Then we're going to launch T-7s with 250 kilogram bombs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to launch with 122mm rockets. 1, and then I'm actually going to use 100 kilogram bombs on the LA-29s, just in case there's any softer targets. Let's go. So it's the group of 3. That's how I'm going to identify our anti-air group. Which is this group. Where is the group of 3? Craft 1, Craft 1, Craft 1, Craft 3. It's the one closest in. So the hope is here that they don't detect us. But there's a very high chance that they will actually launch planes to intercept us. And that's what I was kind of expecting was going to happen last time. And you'll know when they do it because the planes just appear. As soon as you get to visual range, the planes will just appear from the aircraft carrier group. Going to fast forward until we're in range. We're about to hit close range of this city. Visual range of the city. Let me get my anti-air group selected. Because they're the only ones that can engage incoming fighters. Nobody else has guns or anything like that to even take pot shots. If they've got bombs, they don't have the cannon. I believe that if they're armed with anti-air missiles, they have the gun, the 57mm gun, but they'll only fire it when they've run out of missiles, and they'll dogfight for a little bit. But dogfights are just bad for everybody involved. Okay. We have 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1. We're going to engage the group of 3. We're going to order everybody else to hit the city. So let me just make sure that order's gone through. Everybody else hit the city. This is going to be a furball. There's going to be some losses here. But it still counts as a silent strike. The enemy know we are coming, but they are not in the air. That's what this bar above means. That's how long it is before they take off. That's how much time we have to intercept. And I know I could detach the Tyrannus or the Howler at this point. No, not the Howler. The Tyrannus or... well, just the Tyrannus at this point. I'm going to keep it tucked into the fleet because I don't want to make a mistake. That's my big worry right now. Let's go. There's just been engaged in a massive furball. There's 2 enemy jets alive, even though I see 4 of them. Blue jets are ours, green jets are enemies. Looks like most of our air fleet's getting through because our anti-missile ships ended up dogfighting. That worked out really well for us. I think we lost... I don't actually count how many ships we lost. I think we had 8. Yeah, I think we lost 2 jets there. Interesting that these are all heading back. I wonder why they are. Can we order an attack with them? Or are they going to just... No, they're heading home for whatever reason. Well, let's attack with what we've got. There's the aircraft carrier there. There's 1 down. That could have gone worse. Losing 2 jets in a furball like that, having our guys with anti-air missiles at the front worked wonders for us. It's like our bombers have got through, which is the ones that I was most wanting to get through. Oh, the Mercedes special didn't work for once. The planes that are withdrawing probably just took too much damage in the engagement to continue. Here's our last bombing run. Okay, he didn't survive 2 hits. Looks like there's a Sarma, a Courageous. I think that might be a Navarin or a Ballistic. There's a... yeah. There's something else here I think I can't quite make it. No, there's not. I only see 4 ships because this is the aircraft carrier. Well, let's see what we're fighting. Here comes the actual in-person engagement now. They're launching planes again, but they're going after our planes, which is fine with me. They're never going to... oh, they are going to catch up. There's not... I don't know what those planes are doing. It's just 1 plane. It's a T7. I'm not sure where it's going because it's missed us. But here comes the engagement. All right, we're dealing with a Ballistic, a Longbow, a Sarma, and 2 Flowers. Honestly, the Collingwood should be able to handle this with ease. How much prox fuse do we have? 208. Nothing here is particularly well armored. Let's go for it. Let's get this out of the way as quickly as possible. There's not even any anti-aircraft vehicles to deal with. And they're still on the ground. We don't actually want to attack the aircraft carrier. Let's get the Sarma. Let's get the Ballistic. Actually, you're in the way, so we might as well just take you out.
The enemy has been destroyed. The enemy has been destroyed.
Let's watch for that chassis falling down on us. Which the Longbow chassis looks like it's going to do on the ship that's down here. I think that may have just been what happened. No, it's still alive. God, 180 prox fuse is devastating. I forgot how powerful it was, since I'm using 100mm for most of this campaign. And that's another important base taken. Wow, that's going. This has gone extremely well. This is what happens when you plan your attacks before you actually engage with them. All right, I think I'm going to have to grab this fuel tank before anything else. We need crew protection for survivors, which is a little bit frustrating. Let's just get this fleet up in the air. I think what that plane was looking for was the aircraft carrier that launched the other planes. Alright, we've got time to grab something. Everything requires crew protection apart from this Vermpole. Just let this run through. Let's grab quick protection next. If we run out of time, though, I'm going to secure the ammunition. So now we need to make a really important decision, but I'm going to hold fire on that decision until I've just finished crew protection here, because I don't want to be stuck in this menu. All right, the decision we have to make is, do we deal with this little collection of cities here, or do we just go total war now? Do we take Kiva and begin the beginning of the end, or do we spend more time preparing? Honestly, the sensible answer would be to sit and capture all of these cities. But I think you'd already tell that that's not where I'm leaning right now. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take Kiva with the Nomad and get the beginning of the end ready to go. But we have to do a little bit of prep before we do that. So let's quickly get that on the go. Is there anything else? Okay, we can search the captain's cabin, sure. Because what we're going to do... Have you got enough fuel to land? Yeah, they are coming into... Oh, no, they're landing outside the city. The Tyrannus can help them out. It should have enough fuel, I'm hoping. Far south of Sheba. Oh, no. I don't know if he's got enough. Let's see if he's got enough fuel. He probably hasn't. Right, we also need to get the Collingwood on the ground. I'll fuel them up a little bit, I think. Collingwood just needs a tiny bit of repairs. I don't think I can land in that 110, but I can land in that 81. Not that it matters, actually, at this stage in the game. We'll just land him on the 18. It doesn't matter right now.
300 meters.
Oh, I came down too hard. Let's try that again and not come down quite so fast.
Beginning final approach. 500 meters. 300 meters. 100 meters. Throwing it ready. Touchdown confirmed.
There we go. Perfect landing.
Landing complete.
When it takes ages to come down like that, I always feel like there's an event about to fire. Alright, 3 hours of repairs. Don't even need to replace any components. Let's sell the Vermpole. Wow, that's gone so well. Let's get a load of fuel. And then we're gonna... I don't care, actually, where fleets are. Let's get the Tyrannus to fully fuel. I'm just going to go and pick up the rest of the fleet. Okay, so what we need to do now is I'm going to prepare to take Kiva as soon as we're ready. So we're going to seed all of these cities that we've taken with ships. Put the Howler in the furthest away one, each ship to its ability to get somewhere. And then basically when total war begins, we're going to have a ship in every area. Looking at this little sticky out bit, I think one of the nuclear fleets may spawn here, so I'm tempted to keep the Collingwood over here. If it doesn't, the Collingwood is a short hop away from Kiva, or it can come over to defend if it needs to. Let's just make sure this goes ahead, okay? Did you not land with them? Okay, they are one fleet now. That was weird. Can you please get to Kiva? Get to Sheba. So there's a Tarkin somewhere south of Kumdag. South of Sheba somewhere. There might be one. He might be in Kumdag or something. That'd be a great find, actually. I need to go back and check where that Tarkin was located, because that could be a really nice boon for us. Anyway, that's us for here. We've taken Sheba and Tushan, which I honestly thought were going to be much more taxing. This is an example of how you should be playing Highfleet with combined arms and preemptive strikes. I hope you found this enjoyable. I certainly enjoyed playing it. I will catch you in the next video for the beginning of the end. Unless there's a Tarkan very close, in which case we'll get that Tarkan first. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. For now, ciao.